Hey guys, I'm Mason. I'm a completely blind wrestling fan, and this is my podcast, Wrestling in the Dark. And today, I'm not bringing you a SummerSlam review, and that's because I haven't really got the time to do it, which I should have done. I absolutely should have done, but I didn't because of how long it took me to put on SummerSlam this morning, and I'm pretty pissed off about it. So I thought that I'd tell you all why I'm super mad at WWE right now. I've had the WWE Network for a while. It's always been accessible. One of the reasons, as a fan of WWE, that I've always defended them is because of how accessible WWE has been to me. I used to be able to go on, click all shows, follow like 4 steps to get to whatever pay-per-view or episode I wanted, and then there'd be loads of clear options about watch from beginning or watch now or watch later. All that sort of stuff was all clearly labelled and really easy to use. And now this update's coming, and it's absolutely impossible. I spent 2 hours trying to put SummerSlam on today. That's half the length of the show, pretty much. I woke up, I tried to put it on at 10 a.m. and didn't get round to watching it until 12. And it was just ridiculous. I'm clicking around on it, and you click on something, I put my thumb on something, it's like SummerSlam, and then I'll try to click on it, and it'll click on something completely different, or it'll move to another part of the screen. I click on SummerSlam, and every single time it started playing in a random place. As a result, I had the results of Goldberg versus Ziggler spoiled, which wasn't too much because that didn't really bother me quite as much because yeah, we all knew what was going to happen there. But Owens versus Shane got spoiled for me as well, as did the main event. And I am not a fan of Brock Lesnar, so it's hard to invest in a Brock Lesnar match when you already know the result. And it was just. It was just so frustrating trying to put it on and find a way to watch it. I have been struggling with trying to do these recaps because I watch the show all the way through, and the notes document that I keep gets really big, and then it's hard to scroll through and read the notes, and I get really stressed out. So I've been trying to watch a match, come record a part. But you can't go off the WWE Network because every time you go back on, it starts replaying the video, and there's no options for fast forward or rewind, and the only thing you can do is pause it. So it takes me like 2 hours to eventually find the watch from beginning thing after I've clicked on the live stream of it. It's how I find that it says, oh, now SummerSlam, so I click on that, and it's like watch from beginning, so I get through to that finally. This is at like 12 a.m, sorry, and I finally click that, and then I realise that the controls for pausing it aren't working, so I literally could not pause it or leave the screen for the entire time, and it was just, it's just so frustrating. I have to put up with the main roster commentary, which isn't particularly up to par anyway, and will miss things out, and just completely be vague and not call the match. And then I have to spend 2 hours trying to get it on because the network has been updated because you want it to look better and look all tidy and like be in these fancy little scrolling bars or whatever. And it's just ridiculous. If they don't make it accessible soon, it's gonna really affect my enjoyment of it, because I've struggled to get into SummerSlam today when I eventually got around to watching it because of how annoyed I was at the whole experience of trying to get it on. Media these days is fairly inaccessible anyway. The reason that my videos are so bare bones is because none of the editing apps out there are accessible or anything like that, so I keep it stripped down so I can keep it to what I can do by myself, and it's just really, really frustrating when something that was perfectly accessible 2 months ago is at the point where I just really, really can't use it, and it's sort of annoying to me that I know for a fact that I could go out there right now and search for porn, and there's audio described porn out there, and it I can't get on SummerSlam on the WWE Network. It should not be harder to watch wrestling than it is to watch porn. And it's just the most frustrating thing in the world. All I want to do is just watch the pay-per-view, do the podcast, put out my review, and have a conversation with all of you about what it was like for me and what it was like for you. And it just... it's just getting really, really frustrating. So yeah, a bit of a rant. Admittedly, this was the point. I did want to have this rant because I just feel like you should all know that it's really, really difficult to use the WWE Network now. And you all knew that anyway because you've been struggling too, but you know what? If you struggle, imagine what it's like for me. Oh, God. I am really sorry about how much of a rant this was, but if you stuck through to the end, you're a star, and I love you. If you enjoyed the rant and you want to see what I actually think of SummerSlam when I get my review up in a few days or whatever, click subscribe and you won't miss any more. I'm Mason and this has been Wrestling in the Dark, and that's why I'm super mad at WWE.